Yes, I want to welcome you to yet another week, to yet another episode of Beizzo's Kiboozi. You know, a new week means an episode from Beizzo. Yeah, so I want to just calmly put you in the mood for this episode because it's something that speaks so much to me, and I believe this episode is more of advised also me as someone that speaks, as someone that is out there in the world trying to figure it out. Today I want to speak about conviction in the speech that we do to everyone, the communication that we do, because I read somewhere and I've written an article about it, actually a post about it on my LinkedIn, that effective communication is 20% the things you say and 80% how you feel about them. And how you feel about something is the conviction behind it. You know, a few smart words here and there may make you look smart, but for people to believe you, they need to believe in the way you feel about what you know, the way you feel about what you're saying. And that's where the conviction comes from. So conviction, to me, I believe it separates you from the average communicator. People right now, we are in the information world. Everyone knows whatever you're saying. Everyone has felt it somehow. But the conviction is what they want to feel. They want to see, are you really interested in what you're saying? Which brings back the question to me, am I really interested in everything that I've been saying on my podcast from episode 1? I think it was about the 10 people you need in your life, something like that. I think I've been very intentional about everything, because before I produce an episode, I tend to see, will I be, the journey that I'm trying to move, will I be very proud of this episode that I'm releasing? And that's why they are not that many. It's only once a week, because I believe in quality beyond quantity. It makes more sense for me to have something that I believe will last for the future than something that will last for only today. I also try to make every episode a little bit unique in its own way, so that there is a dose of knowledge spilled into people. But today is about conviction, and conviction is what makes us better communicators. How we feel about what we are saying makes us better communicators. And you putting that feeling onto the people is what good communication is. You've heard people make poems, sing songs, and you listen to the song and maybe you tear up, or you listen to the song and it makes your day better. That is conviction. They did those songs out of something that was to speak louder than knowledge, something that was to speak forever. That's why you see that, let's say for the songs, that's why you see songs that don't make sense, don't last long. There's a gentleman called Maddox. I think for everyone listening to this episode, you know who Maddox is. Maddox Sematimba. I made an interesting research about him, and I got to realize something small. This gentleman sang only 14 songs. 14 songs in his whole career. One album, and that's it. But every Ugandan has at least listen to his music and can testify his music is good. That music has made him money, generations and generations. I don't know how rich he is, but he has been living off only the 14 songs. I've not seen him do covers of anyone's music or what. I've not seen him try to do collabos or what. But this guy tomorrow can make a concert and he'll pull bigger numbers than some of the new artists. Why? I believe there was conviction behind every lyric that he wrote for those 14 songs. And that's why it has kept on. It has kept on. It's a legacy. Legacies are only created out of conviction. Personally, my whole journey, I have set out myself to be a voice that opens people's minds. And that means I have to change my delivery. I have to bring in things that are more relatable to the people listening, things that are more relatable to anyone that will ever fall on any episode. And that's why at the beginning of this year I made the decision to be a better storyteller, to be someone that can move an idea and keep it as that idea. Bring in metaphors, bring in things that make you show that you understood what you're trying to say. And all that is out of conviction. All that is out of making the content better. The only one thing that I've feared to do, now I'll share with people listening, is maybe to do video content. I've given myself very many excuses and all that. And I believe it is something that is haunting me so much, feeling that I'm losing out on how potentious this whole thing would be. But going back to conviction, I believe the right conviction will make me do the video and separate me from the average communicators out there. You know, knowledge is very common, but conviction is rare. Right now, we're in the information world, ChatGPT, AI here and there. All the search engines are very, very active. They're very good. You search for one thing in 4 variant. Let me say Google, then you use Firefox, then you use Microsoft, then you use Brave, then you use Opera. You see a different kind of information coming out there. Knowledge is everywhere. People are ready to know. But now we've reached a point where we need to see conviction, because it's going to become very rare. And that's why I made this episode, because conviction is that fire. It's that fire in the words. It's that fire in everything that you do. If you're a writer, it's that fire that makes your piece bigger than the normal pieces that other people are writing. I want to give a story of a gentleman I met during my life at campus. And it turns out this guy became a guild president. But I had a conversation with him. For those that do not know him, he's called Chiega Rogers. I plan maybe in the future to one day bring him on the podcast. But I had a conversation with him. Yes, politicians are funny people. But I had a conversation with him when I just joined campus. And I think it was about 2 hours, and he gave me a very listening ear. He talked to me about his plan as a guild president and everything that he was planning to do for the institution. Now, at the time, I was someone that wanted to join politics, wanted to be a student leader. I wanted to be all over the place during my university. So I talked to this gentleman, and there was a lot of conviction in him. I believe the only reason as to why I ever followed whatever he was saying, because I was a staunch Chiega foot soldier. You would never tell me any other person how good they are. I knew my guy was the guy because he built the trust from the conviction. He gave me a story about how he had moved through the university from his diploma to... I saw there was clear direction from this guy. I saw there was a plan for everything that he was going to do. And he looked like he had the students at heart. He had the conviction that speaks louder than knowledge. And all that just built trust in him. It was something that I felt, man, this is the guy. This is the guy. And in that whole experience, I learned something small. Conviction ignites action. Now, if you're a politician, you're a preacher, you're anyone, you're a leader, you're what, if someone sees you're passionate about something, they will be ignited to act based on your dream, based on whatever you're telling them. That is why you see young men in Uganda, the youth in Uganda, trying to fight for freedom in this country because they see the conviction in Bobby Wine. They see the conviction. I don't want this to be a political thing, but I'm just giving an example so that you get to understand what I'm trying to say. But you see, it is that conviction that ignites people to work towards your dream. It is that conviction that ignites everyone around you to listen to what you're saying. It is that conviction that gives you an upper hand. And for you to have conviction, you have to actually be your authentic self. You need to be vulnerable for you to be able to speak louder than the knowledge. For you to be extraordinary, you need to share a bit of your inner person. So if you're trying to look for conviction, because this is where I reach in my episode, and I give practical ways in which you can reach there. The one thing, maybe if you end listening to this episode halfway, the one thing is to know your why. Know your why, and stick to it. And every month ask yourself, am I achieving something in the direction of my why? Personally, my why is to see people be better, because I've seen what it takes to be someone out there that is not exposed to the knowledge of self-improvement and all that. So I want to be a voice that opens people's minds. The other thing you need to do is to speak out of experience. Always speak out of experience, because your story shows conviction. It helps people to relate with you. It helps people to have a piece of your story. If you never tell your story, you're just giving facts here and there. You look like a machine. And we are going into the machine world, so these people may even think you're a machine actually. But the whole idea is that you need to just be a little bit more than just the facts, more than just what people bring. Let's say if you're a donut, you need to be a donut with cream in the middle. Otherwise, I think that is it for this episode. I think you get what I'm saying. But conviction speaks louder than knowledge. Please understand that for you to move people in this world, you need to show them how much what you're telling them means to you. The only way you can do that is by what I have said. Speak out of experience, make people relate with you. Do not feel like you're on a bigger stage of life that you can't share some things. Do not feel so proud that you can't share some things. What I can tell you is very many people forget, but people do not forget stories. They do not forget how you made them feel. Because I heard somewhere that story is a PDF version of life. Like, if you had a PDF can open in any device. Any device, a PDF can open. Or I think it is portable something format. But that is it, that a story can open in any person. It can make sense to anyone. It is the biggest trick to having conviction out there, like painted on you. But that's it for this episode. If you've loved it, I think share it with your friends, share it with your workmates, because some of you listen to my podcast during work. Yeah. And if you're a boss, please don't fire my listeners. They need free Wi-Fi to listen. Otherwise, that is it for this week. Keep it at Beizzo Kiboozi. See you next Monday.